All right, there have been 30 videos suddenly uploaded, and I thought I would explain myself, just in case it's confusing that suddenly there's these 30 videos of these little characters, Bob and Ed, that are living in our environment now. It was a bit of a challenge. It was a 30-day challenge for me, personal challenge that I wanted to practice 3D animation and then what's called compositing into live action footage. It's one of those things that I've always wanted to get good at and I've dabbled in. And finally decided I would do 30 days. The other part of it actually that I wanted to do was see if I could get horses trained to do things to something that wasn't there or something that was there that I would then remove, which you can see in the very final one that we did where we made Lena disappear. And that one was done with Haley, and she stood in front of Lena. But anyways, without getting into all the details just yet, I'll do that at the end of this video if you're so interested in how everything went down. But I wanted to do a 30-day challenge because I think it's important to sometimes take yourself out of your element and do something that you've been thinking of doing, something that you thought, well, maybe I'd like to get a little bit better at that. Maybe it's a language, maybe it's exercise, maybe it's some kind of technical skill, or you want to read a pile of books or something like that. And you do it a little bit, and then you kind of stop for a little while, and you find yourself sort of, at least I found myself sort of plateauing. I find that a lot when it comes to horse training, horsemanship. People want to ride their horses, they want to get better relationships with their horses, and they sort of plateau and sometimes even sort of slide backwards, and I have as well. And I find that generally the solution is to really dedicate yourself and dedicate your time and put yourself into it with a commitment, a full-on commitment that you're going to hold yourself to. And when that happens and you kind of get out of it and you've finally grown a little bit, you've done something, and you get out and you think, I've really accomplished something. I wonder what the next thing should be. So the 30-day challenge isn't actually just about doing 30 days of something and getting good at it. It's actually when you make it through to the end and you really, really toughed it out, which I did, it almost became a 2-week challenge. Get out at the end of it and you think, I wonder what I could do if I changed the goal a little bit, maybe extended the time frame, but less things during that time frame perhaps. So in this case, I did 30 videos, 1 per day, every single day, without fail, and released them out. Made sure that my goal was to get something that went out by the end of the day before I went to bed. And that was a challenge. And so my next goal will be something kind of like that, but maybe longer videos and less frequency. But I now have a foundation of the things that I want to do. And that can apply very much to working with horses or working with anything, any task that you'd like to do better at. That you just do a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. 10 to 15 seconds was biteable, chewable kind of concept. Anyways, and so now it's released out into the internet, into the public space of this channel. As this channel is not just about doing horse stuff. It's also about kind of the things that I think about and the concepts that I do. And I wanted it to be a provable idea, something that could get out there and you could see that it's possible. I could see that it's possible, and I feel better for it. So hopefully that's interesting. That's the explanation of why I went about doing it. The last upload was yesterday, and I can't be more relieved that I finally finished what I was up to. It was fun, interesting, challenging, hard, but very fulfilling. So maybe you guys would feel that way too, and this might be a little bit of inspiration for that. Anyways, that's it for now. After this is done, I'm going to do a review of each video if you're interested in that. If not, that ends this video for you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, if you've made it to this part of the video, thank you for sticking around. I thought I would go over each of the videos that I did in case you were interested. I've had some pretty nice feedback from people who have been watching them on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. And obviously here on YouTube, but it's in a bit of an obscure location. A lot of people wouldn't go visit. Here on the screen, you can see that we have a community tab. And inside of the community tab is where everything went. But not very many people visit the community tab, which is kind of why I put it in there. And but you can access them all at once over in the playlist tab. So if we hit the playlist tab here and click on the Bob and Ed playlist, it will play through each of these videos. So I thought maybe we would go over these, and I can let you guys know what I was thinking and doing and why I was doing each one. Because each one of these gave me a new challenge. It gave me practice at doing something that I couldn't do before. And so here that is. So just click on Bob and Ed. Very cautious. I have a feeling he's just one of those cautious types. This one was my very first one. And I had created the 3D character and what's called rigging, which means you set up the character to be animated and moved. I've done the character modeling, the animation, and then brought it into, this is my first time ever, actually. This is my very first time ever rigging something and animating it. And I simply had him breathing like he had just been running around. And the horse was just staring at him like, what is happening here? It was a very simple one, but it took me a long time to get this done. Because the other part of it, as we'll see throughout all the other videos, is that every one of these has to be 3D tracked. So essentially meaning that we have to take the scene and bring that into some 3D software that will figure out what it's supposed to look like in 3D. So you can place objects in there. And then add lights to give them shadow, and then sound later, and this is what we get. And as you can see in this beginning one, Bob's a little mundane. He doesn't have any hands per se, or no thumbs. He's pretty blocky. So my very first version, Bob was a little bit basic, but it worked out, and it was great practice for the rest of it. Over this way, Fluffer. Ah, Bob, knock it off. Good girl, this is for me now. This one was Bob saving Yoga and me in the middle getting mad. So I had to use different audio. So I knew I wanted to be able to mix audio as well as a different viewpoint, something that was much further away and moving. So it was a little bit more practice in tracking and figuring out the angle of things, and also lighting, actually. Lighting was a little bit more difficult. But again, Bob's not doing anything. He's literally at the back. I think he moved his head. I don't know if he moved his arms. I wasn't really doing much animating just yet. But that's number 2. Good job, little one. It can be seen as hopefully not a danger.
Oh, it's okay. You're okay.
So, horses teach horses.
See, she's okay.
There his head moved. Maybe better than humans teach horses. So this was another short one, obviously, and the horses were all playing with the tarp. And Yoko was still nervous, so I had everybody around. And he was there reassuring her and letting her know she's a good horse. So I thought it was kind of funny. It was my first one that had them really close, him really close up, and actually trying to interact with a horse. All of these videos so far weren't set up; they were just clips that I had taken out of other clips of video that I've got. Come on, it's on the downslope.
Arise!
That's all.
Good boy.
Now go get him. That one was simple. I knew I wanted to do something that, again, would moving shot. But I wanted to time up like he was actually telling the horse what to do. And so it was just more practice with animating arms, animating the head, and getting things to look a little bit good. So, moving on. Yeah. That
Horse
one
walk.
was that one was a lucky one. I happened to get Luke when he was lying down, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if it looked like he tickled him? And then Luke had to kick, and it worked out well. It was a little bit more difficult for the lighting and getting the shadows right. So that was more practice with shadows and lighting, and a little bit of animating. So I was getting a little bit better at animating now, and working out timing with the live footage. So it looks like he's actually there. This next one's Bob telling a joke.
It's into a bar. Bartender says, "Why the long face?" Well, it's not that funny.
In this one, you can see Bob now has a logo on his shirt, but his hands are still blocks. And I think I changed the shape of his hat later on as well. And in this one, it's just a basic tracking. He moves a little. It's the horse that gives the best show. This is Roni, obviously, laughing at the ever so funny joke of why the long face. That one was interesting because to get that shot tracked properly, or what I thought I needed to do to track it properly, I needed to put an object in the scene. I had to cover that object later because Bob didn't hide it, and it looked silly. So I made a barrel. So I got to practice some modeling. And then the other part of that I wanted to practice was lighting. So it looked like Bob was lit up by the fire a little bit. I was building on all of my other abilities, a little bit of animating, lots of tracking, and now a little bit of modeling and sort of trying to remove an object from the scene, which we get to way later when it comes to making Lena disappear. So that one was a little bit fun. I enjoyed that one. It was quiet. And then adding in a little bit of extra sound. I recorded the fire really close up. That allowed me to enhance the ambience of the shot. So that was good. Good practice. My very first and I think last try at making a character walk or run kind of worked out, and it happened to work out well with the horses. It looked like they were looking at him, so that one was funny. Try to make these things amusing where I could. So, right, next one. Yeah.
Oh, Luke's at it again.
What's that? What's he doing? Roni, you yell at him right now. Good job, buddy.
This one was actually I had been trying to get video of Roni calling out. He's calling out a lot. I thought, oh, that's kind of good audio. Maybe I could use that somewhere. And so I'd actually just been standing around one day and I got that. But I thought I could use it. I could have Bob tell him what to do. So that was another timing one. Tracking was very simple because there was almost no movement. And then the lighting, the shadows were the wrong color. So I was trying to mess around with that and try to figure that out. There's a lot of things to think about when you're trying to bring in 3D footage into another scene, is to get your coloring correct. It's actually quite difficult. Worked out okay. And here we are.
Huh? Oh, fluffernutter. Take a look over here. There's a whole bunch of fish here. Huh? Huh? Aww.
That one was the only shots, I think up until then, all the others had just been taken out of videos that I'd already done. But that one was, I'd actually gone to the pond to see if I could plan something for once. I could actually plan out a shot. So I got a few shots of the pond area, and I was kind of wondering where on earth could I put them around there. And I ended up putting them on the rock, and by total fluke, Yoko was there that I could have him interact with and respond. So that's kind of the key, I think, integrating Bob, or as we'll see soon, Ed. The key really is making it look like they're actually there because the horses are looking like they're responding to him. So I got a few lucky ones for sure. There's another one that kind of worked out that way.
Oh, you guys got a problem? Oh. Whoa. Settle down there. Settle down. Jeez.
you can't plan this stuff. By total chance, Gracie was chasing off Rue, and I thought it would be hilarious if Bob was challenging her, like, "What's your problem? You got a problem with me?" or something like that. And then she goes to chase him, but he's like, "Hey, stop it!" So just another happenstance kind of shot. An easy one, relatively easy. That is going to make them fearful or worried. What's really important is to try to understand the actual purpose of why we might have a tool like that. And that's generally going to be something along the lines of what a horse, another horse, might use their tail for. I'm not sure when I gave Bob thumbs. I think this might have been my first video where I gave him thumbs. I don't recall seeing his thumbs before. But I also wanted to see if I could get him to sit in a chair somewhere. And I think I got it pretty good. But it's actually quite hard because you have to make shadows on the hand, the armrests, and somewhere on the chair as well, and a little bit below the chair. And that was actually kind of difficult. And then the other thing that I wanted to do in this one was practice more animating. So I was trying to mimic my own hand movements or Bob. So if you watch it, you'll see that his hand moves kind of in time with mine, which might be an inside joke because so far nobody's said anything. Anyway, so that was that one.
Oh, look out, boy. Oh, here she comes, here she comes. Oh, steady, boy. It's okay, it's okay. Settle down, settle down. Oh, good job, good job.
This one was trying to interact with a horse or make it look like he's interacting with a horse by touching. That was actually very difficult to do because there's no deformation of the tarp or anything like that. So it kind of worked, kind of didn't. But it was just good practice, and also the shift in perspective tracking I was practicing here as well. So each one of these videos gives me something else to sort of try. You see, in that one, I tried to make Bob walk backwards, and it was pretty stiff and kind of weird. I'm not very good at that part yet. But that one was the first one where I actually removed me from the shot. And because I had fed Gracie the carrot, but replaced me with Bob, and he fed her the carrot. So that was really good practice in removing a person or a thing and replacing with the character itself. I think it worked out okay, other than the stepping backwards part. So it's good practice. Dancing Bob, yeah. Again, more animation practice. And the other thing I wanted to do was see if I could bring in other characters. And that character came from a free site that you could get the character and the dancing movements that they would do. And all I needed to do was place her over on a rock, and then Bob was over on the other side. But to practice doing animation for some kind of dance, that was where that was going. So that was good practice, actually, because I made him mini as well. He was a tiny Bob and a tiny little elf sort of dancer. It was fun.
Oh, what's happening here? You two. Be good, be good. Don't want to see any trouble, no kicking. No, it's good, it's good. Oh, what, the tail? Oh no.
That one was hard, but I thought it would be a good one to do to practice getting timing of when a leg comes up, the positioning of the character to knock a hat off, and how the hat would come off. But it didn't work out perfectly for the hat, but it was fine. And I might use that one as a bit of a showcase of how to be around horses safely. But again, more practice. So,
what are you looking at? I'll swish your tail. Yeah, there you go. See? Swishy swish. Swish it one more. And one more. Haha, that's right. That's right, buddy. You just keep shuffling on.
This one again was trying to time up a movement, an animated movement with live action as if he's actually there. And the shadows aren't too bad either. They could be a little bit more blue, but it was just more practice on figuring out how to make an arm move. You'd be surprised actually how difficult it is to, when you think about movement and how the hand would move. You wouldn't move a hand like that. It'd be like that. And that was that practice. Worked out pretty good.
Oh, it's
Try
great.
again.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him.
Good boy.
Oh, there's his
Save
foot.
it.
His foot's coming up.
Right
He's
there.
going to make it.
Up.
Come on, come on. You could do it. A little more, a little
I don't
more.
know, man.
All right.
That one was having a character in the foreground and a character in the background. Ed showed up in this one. We haven't met Ed yet. There's a video where we meet Ed, but the playlist is out of order. But I wanted to practice putting in more than one character and also having them different levels. So Bob being up in the trailer and Ed being out on the sand. So worked out.
All right, you little whippersnapper, hurry up with the camera. Let's get going. Come on. Hurry up. Run, 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 run. Attaboy, attaboy. Up you go. Good boy. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. We got a job to do here. Come on. Good, good, good. Come on. Let's go.
I had grander plans for this one. I was going to have the steamroller. Steamroller? Are they called that anymore? It's not steaming, but vibrating rolling machine. I was going to have it come in front of Bob, and he would be hidden by the machine, but it was going to take way too long, so I just ended off with this. So it was a more basic one, but I'm pretty sure it was late at night when I was working on this, and I thought, good enough.
Oh, give him a chance. Look at him. He's such a nice boy. What do you mean no? Look at him there. He's so cute. He's just a nice you two and make such good friends. Go on, Lena. Go on. You can do it. Yeah, that's a good girl. See, he's a nice boy.
This one worked out well because it looked like they were looking at him. It was a lucky shot. I didn't take this shot for it, but I found it later and I thought, oh, I could probably use this because it looks like they're looking at him, talking to them for them to be friends. So, you know, Bob's got a little bit of character in this one. A nice Bob.
Well, hello there. Welcome. This is where we're going to build a pond of some paddocks over this way, and up there is where we've got our first shelter built. Thanks for visiting.
Some of these videos actually are not just about the Bob, but I also wanted to put in a little bit of stuff from a long time ago. That didn't happen here, and Bob would be sort of the guy that's showing you around. I have grander plans for this idea, but this was a start. And this was taken with a drone as well, so it was a different type of camera. I wanted to see if it would track it well, because it's not as clear. It's hard to explain, but it's actually harder to track some of these shots if they're not sharp and clear and easy to determine where things are. It's good practice.
So today we're going to work on... Hey, Ronnie, what are you doing? Don't chew on that there. Anyways, where was I? Okay, today we're going to work on some... Hey, Ronnie, stop it.
But that one was amusing because I was actually saying those things in the actual shot. I had to mute out me and add in Bob. And the timing was perfect. It looked like he was, again, it looked like he's interacting with the horses. So more practice at that. This next one was interesting.
Oh, hello, horsey. Hello, Ed.
Hello.
Bye.
That one was actually kind of difficult. Surprisingly, it's not that easy to figure out sort of the distance that something is in so that it changes size accordingly to how it's traveling through the frame. And then I also had to model the inner tube. So it's a basic thing to do, but getting him to look like he was on the water was a bit of a challenge. It took quite a few takes to get that right. So it was good practice for that as well. Moving through the space of the frame from distance. Things you might not think about. This one was an odd one. I wanted to see if I could track a shot from a long ways away. And the drone is up probably about 200 feet here. And I wanted to see if I could put Bob with his carrot stand out in the corner. So he's way down in the corner, and we're watching a tree come down. He's supposed to be surprised.
Carrots, get the carrots over here. 50% off carrot. What? Oh, oh, you see that? Oh, man, that guy's still shaking around up there.
The cottonwood trees are really dangerous. They still are. I've got plenty of them. But the branches fall off really easily, and these ones were branches had fallen into the arena. There's a lot of leaves, and they were in the way for other future, obviously the covered arena. So it was it was an interesting shot. And it did track well, and I did get perspective quite well. It looks like Bob's actually down there, so it looked that well, even though he's tiny. Thanks.
Oh, good job, young lad. Maybe you should just check out that edge right there. Right there, yeah.
Check out this edge.
Yep, it's a good spot right there. Yeah.
Because what we're looking to do, right,
maybe clean that out a little.
we can now just finally finish cleaning this stuff out, because
that one was more of a joke. But I did want to see if I could get Bob close up, get shadows right and stuff like that. But it was more timing and trying to figure out how to make it look like he's there, telling me what to do when I was already going to be doing it anyway, obviously.
Horses to change a light bulb? I don't know. You guys know how many horses it takes to change a light bulb? What? You getting up? All right then, get on.
Hi.
There's always Ed in the background saying hi. I don't have very much audio, and as a few of you have guessed, Ed is David. So he's given me a few clips that I've been able to use. But the thing is that the horse looks like he's looking directly at him. It worked out really well for that. So I just kind of came up with some weird dialogue, like, how many horses did it take to change a light bulb? Nobody knows. This next one's an interesting one.
Oh, it's a life. Oh, you just missed a spot. Just over there. Just turn around. Just go turn around. Just turn around here. Yep. Just head on back there. There it is. Let's go get it. Well,
to have him in the back of the gator I wasn't tracking a scene anymore. I was just tracking a simple area of a scene. And I wasn't sure if I could do it. But obviously I did, and I had him sit down in the back and sort of start directing me on where to harrow the arena. I put in his barrel as well. It's a little smaller, though. I don't know what was in it, but there his barrel was. Okay, this one was the last one. It's not the last one in this playlist, because I added a couple others. I think I added a couple of Ed ones at the back here. But this is the last one I worked on. And this one took a long time to do, because it combines a bunch of things that we've been kind of doing. Removing things, adding characters, figuring out lighting, things like that. It's actually it was a chore. It took longer than expected, and ended up this one. I don't know if it crashed my computer, or if the computer restarted due to updates or something like that. But I'd set this to what we call render, which means to take the characters, put them in the scene, and then the computer has to chug its way through to make it in a bunch of images that you can watch, and that's called rendering. And it took, I think, 4.5 hours. So I just set it up overnight and went to bed. I woke up in the morning and my computer had been restarted, and it was only maybe 2/3 of the way through. So I had to redo that part. So that sucked. Anyways, so in this one, this is the longest one. This is the final one, the finale. We made Lena disappear.
hello there. Welcome to the magic show. We're going to make Lena disappear as soon as my slightly slow assistant gets her covered up with the magic sheet. And she'll be covered up from front to back. Anyways, this is my friend here, Ed.
Hello.
He's a good buddy. Likes to learn, likes to watch, all kinds of stuff. So, let's see how my assistant is coming along. Oh, he's ready. All right, 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! Thank you very much.
And we're back. There we go. So that was the finale, and it was quite enjoyable to make. And you wouldn't know it, but Haley was in there as well, holding Lena back so she wouldn't go forward because she didn't have a lead rope on or anything. And she was quite good at it. We tried to get Luke to do it, but he'd shuffle around and sort of get out of place and not stay in the right spot, which made it a real pain. So we ended up using Lena for that one, and she was fantastic. She's not really had a problem having stuff over top of her. So this is where I was at the end of this whole challenge. I really wanted to get more into adding horses in on purpose, setting up shots, planning everything out, which worked well. And then a lot of computer work. Okay, so we're just going to watch the last two of Ed. This was a brand new character that I brought in a few videos in. I think about 6 or 7 videos in. I thought I could use another character, so I made Ed. Ed's an elephant.
Hold on, little birdie. Watch out for those big feet. Stay back, Lena. Chop, chop. Good job. Hi.
I think this is also the first one where I figured out blinking. It blinks. I don't know if you noticed. It's really quick. So that was another animating trick that I learned, is how to change just one thing of the character. But yeah, that one we had actually planned, and I'd had David take a bunch of audio specifically for that video. So that was fun.
Hi. Come on over. Want to come watch horses with me?
And that is it. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks everybody again who had supported me throughout the whole thing, giving lovely comments and thumbs ups and stuff like that. So we'll see you guys in the next video.